my bad.
But regardless, yes, despite that, Brandon was trying to get back to the topics.
Right.
Yeah,
Despite derailing him.
and he did say he's not going to advocate for Suspect to lose his job, because that was the only thing I asked him was, hey, bro, if No Jumper do what No Jumper do, let them do it on their own. Don't ask for this.
No, okay. This is the tea. This is the tea that we got to get to. So I'm going to do content with Whack later today. The eve of you getting into the confrontation with Suspect, in which he pulled out his sword and whatnot. Was it really a Swiss Army knife? Because that's funny.
He pulled out Excalibur.
He literally pulled it out and started trying to unfold it. Glass, why do you lie? You know you saw that.
I did not see the knife.
You're such a liar.
I wouldn't necessarily believe it if you were the only one saying it, but the security guard said it.
I'm not saying he didn't have
one
it.
thing I don't do, I don't lie on the internet. I don't get on the internet and be like, I'm just going to lie. Like this. And plus, that's a serious accusation.
Okay.
And if he didn't have it,
and Hefe said he's seen it too.
He probably would have got killed by me, because I had him. He was screaming.
So after the spit, you were determined, like, oh, I'm gonna.
I was on him, like I was literally the security. First of all, he's way too small. You know, he wasn't able to like control us both. So he said,
pretty hard.
He said, "Let me control the person I can control," and he rammed Suspect up against.
So we need to have more of a Goliath doing security for your next altercation.
You gotta get some Samoans. I'm not gonna have another altercation. But the thing is, when you spit,
Crib the only Samoan I know.
Security.
I don't think Crib Mac's gonna be so crazy as to try to spit on me.
No.
Tone was part Samoan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Crib Mac never did anything. He never threatened anybody, really. He was pretty chill as far as being here.
He would just talk shit about you in office.
But to be fair,
he wouldn't know what the hell they're thinking.
But Crib Mac was never put in a situation where, like, all of a sudden he's across from Munchie or he's across from somebody he don't get along with.
We never had Crib Mac in any kind of problematic scenario.
Can I tell you guys, the issue is this, and Suspect admitted it last night on his stream. By the way, go watch that. He needs the money. But he said, I wasn't going to not go to No Jumper knowing Brandon was there so y'all could call me a B word and say I got marked out. So he's telling you in that moment, I live and die by what the opinion of the fans, the opinion that the fans carry. So he literally went into a situation where he knew he wasn't going to be able to control himself because he didn't want the fans to judge him as a mark.
But that's fair, though.
No,
not
that's absolutely
just the fans,
stupid.
But I agree with you that he is allowing his ego to dictate his actions 100% and get him in a bad situation. However, it's not just the fans he's tripping on. This is a dude, he's outside in the streets of LA. If you have a certain jacket on you, if you have a reputation for being a mark, for being a rat, for being a J-cat, it's going to put you potentially in dangerous situations.
So he already has that reputation?
No, but if he
knows that could be a thing that would create, a bunch of for him to deal with. Like, he knows that if he acts like a hoe on the podcast, that he's going to basically at some point have to, deal with that.
He realizes that he's already, when you have a video getting your ass whooped out in the alley, like in that fashion, there wasn't 10 people. There wasn't a pack out. It was one guy, and then another guy joined in.
And they had a gun, though.
It doesn't matter. And they were small. Listen, you listen.
How are we gonna fight back when dude has a gun?
Did the dude literally took the gun off and handed it to someone else?
It don't matter. Somebody in that crew got a gun on them while they're jumping. What's supposed to do? Fight back?
BPS members in the hood. Of course they have guns.
Multiple straps.
But they're from your hood. So
it doesn't matter, bro.
If these people were ever your friends, they're not. And he said, "Oh, you gonna do me like that?" And the dude said, "Nah, bro, I ain't gonna do that." So at the end of the day, at least fight hard enough to make them have to pack you out, because you never been in a DP.
If you start winning, they shoot you and kill you.
No, that's a lie. You're ignorant. If you start winning against that one person, then more people jump in until you get beat up. Yeah. Even Adam knows that, and he's white. What I'm telling you is the way they slung it, bro. I heard that they were calling this boy cheese because they said the way they dragged his ass through that alley was like he got dragged across a cheese grater. Like, this is word on the street. He's little cheese now. But what I'm saying is, the dude is just so damn insecure. Adam, you have way more fans than Suspect could ever dream of having. Would you let those people impact you to the point where you're willing to jeopardize your safety?
I mean, you have to be aware of what they're going to think. That being said, anybody else feel kind of gross about allowing him to just continue to go on
Yeah.
So when it feels like we can't make this so
And it
much.
feels like
Yeah,
it's convincing to fight Milk,
I just feel bad personally.
He can't defend himself.
Yeah, it's like exactly.
Yeah, feel me?
He can't defend himself. He's not here.
And then
You already
too, though-
got your wish. You got him up out of here.
That wasn't my wish. That was your wish. You admitted it when we're off the camera.
But I do have a couple. I do have a
Nah,
couple.
I'm just kidding, man.
He was dancing.
Yeah, I was crip walking. I
You're dancing, Jake.
You guys teamed up.
I got a couple questions. One, do you think that you should be considered a snitch for bringing attention to the fact that he had a blade?
But no, he wasn't the first one though. And
Bro,
Hefe
are you
said,
a lawyer? Chill out, Rosenberg. I didn't ask you the
but
question.
and Hefe said he got it right first. So like,
And you don't like Aunt Hefe, and now you're trying to further slime him out. This is about Brandon right now.
We put him in the group chat with Aunt Hefe,
Yeah,
and you were talking to him without saving the number for weeks, thinking it was Munchie. So it turns out you actually do get along with Aunt Hefe.
no,